up this morning, I crawled out of my bed. My back was really aching, my eyes were cherry red. It's just the morning after, I don't remember who was here. I'll eat a slice of that cold pizza and wash it down with warm beer. I got that not so fresh feeling from my head down to my toes. I think I had a good time, heaven only knows. It's just the morning after. Lord, it's funky up in here. Help me now, yeah. I'll eat a slice of cold pizza and wash it down with warm beer.
Yeah, you got it now. Hey, welcome to the morning after. It's JP. There's Big Joe. How you doing, Big Joe?
Hey. Staying away from that cold pizza and warm beer.
Oh, that's good. Warm beer.
Got my coffee.
Cold pizza, much better than warm beer.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
Maybe if you mix them together. I'm drinking some really dark black coffee.
Always. I remember I'd be like, Joe, do you want a coffee? And you'd be like, sure. Do you want anything in it? And you'd say, never.
Gotta love that.
We got
caffeine,
some serious
man.
lag going on. We got some real lag going on. I feel like yeah. Oh boy. That's me. We're off to a good start. Well, Joe, you're out there in Denver. I'm down here in hot Southern California. Well, I mean, we got to talk about the big news.
Yeah, what's
that? You heard about the big news. Everybody's talking about it. Some guy punched Rick Moranis in the face.
Really?
Did you hear about this?
No. I've heard other weird news.
Yeah, yeah. You see what you thought I was going somewhere. You thought I was gonna zig, so I zagged. So apparently it was a completely random attack. He was walking down the street in Manhattan. Another guy is walking the opposite direction down the sidewalk, and without any warning, just socked him in the face. Just socked Rick Moranis in the face. He's 67 years old, Joe.
Damn.
It's terrible. And then he like dropped to the ground. I don't think he was like I don't think he was like unconscious. But he was down, and like he went to the doctor. He said he hurt his head and his back and shit like that. And they're still trying to find the guy that punched him. I just read about this like an hour ago.
That's funky up in here, man.
It's terrible. The guy just kind of reemerged. He was in a commercial. And everyone was freaking out because it was like, oh, Rick Moranis is back. And then he's in the news again this morning because he got punched in the face.
That's never good news.
No, it's never good news. And then the president got the virus too. So that's another thing that happened in the news. Yeah. Starting off with a question here. What is the most illegal thing you Hueys own? Yeah, why would I talk about that? That's crazy, man. I can't talk about that.
Uh-oh.
I like that we're starting off with... Yeah, that's a hot question. I like that we're starting off with user questions. I don't own anything illegal, sir. Right? What about you, Joe? You got anything illegal back there?
No.
You want to talk about it on the air?
No comment.
No comment? That's good. That's good. That was a trap. That was a good try. Good try. I like a good trap. So yeah, we got Baby Huey on the broadcast today. Very excited about that. He's going to be popping in here around 10:15er from 107.7 The Bone and the In The Kliq podcast. It's a podcast about wrestling. Yeah, I just want to say trigger warning. Trigger warning. I tried to say trigger warning. Trigger warning. We're going to be talking about wrestling a bit, I'm sure. So if that's something that annoys the holy hell out of you, I want to kick rocks. But we'll talk about rock
wrestling's
and roll.
pretty heavy metal.
It is. It is. Have you heard of Aleister Black? He's like a cult kind of guy. He's got tattoos everywhere, and his music's all fucking metal and shit like that. Raw. But anyway.
What about a couple weeks ago when they're who was it? I think it was NXT was promoting a pay-per-view and they had Saint Anger music on there for it.
Yes, that's right. They have this guy Karrion Kross, and he's all evil and shit like that, and he's tight looking. He's tight, and he's got a cool manager chick, Scarlett, and she's all like hot and fucking dark and scary and shit like that. And then they played a promo, and they were playing Saint Anger out of all the songs.
Well, maybe that's his jam.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like they kind of just got the rights to whatever.
That was the cheapest one to get the rights to.
Yeah. I'm getting a message. It says our Twitch still says that we're meeting with Greg from Brain Oil. That's not true.
Oh.
Whoa.
Welcome back, Greg.
That. Yeah, welcome back, Greg. It's we're new to this. We're trying our best. So Greg from Brain Oil's not on the show today. If you're watching on Twitch, sorry about that. It's Baby Huey from 107.7 The Bone. So what's your favorite Saint Anger song, Joe? Can you name any?
It was definitely the one with the snare in it.
People always talk about the snare, but what is up with those riffs on that fucking album? It was like like that's not a Metallica riff.
A lot of people that time they were really trying to jump on the new metal train. So I really think that's Slayer put out an album like that. Anthrax had put out a real new metal album, and that was 2003.
Which Slayer album are you referring to? Diabolus and Musica? Oh, God Hates Us All.
I think, because that was the one before God Hates Us All, too. And I can't really remember that one. That one was a little bit different, too. I remember liking weird. That one, but...
Yeah, I like it in a weird
God
way.
Hates Us All.
I don't like God Hates Us All. Just wasn't my thing. Didn't like it. But Diabolus and Music is interesting because it's different. I like different. But Slayer fans aren't going to like it. How did we get on the topic of Slayer? Oh, new metal. Yeah. No, the riffs on Saint Anger are just straight up terrible. I'm sorry, Metallica. So Joe, how you doing? I'm not sure if you're just not responding to me or if we just don't have or if the lag is really, really, really heavy today. He just left. Look at that. Well, Joe just left. When your connection's bad, just say fuck it. Just leave. So anyway, what else we got here? He said later. Morning, guys. Good morning, Sharky. How you doing? Let's talk to the people. Coach Lore, trigger warming. You heard me. You got me there. I said trigger warming. Taco Maniac, what's up? Taco Maniac. Hi. So who is Baby Huey? Oh, he's a man of mystery. As I did go through this. Baby Huey is a producer on 107.7 The Bone. I believe he produces the Lamont and Tonelli morning show. He's been over there for a while. He's the host of the In The Kliq podcast. Again, trigger warning. We might be talking about wrestling. Just all around great dude and just a big fan of rock and roll. So yeah, he's been if you go to shows in the Bay Area, you've probably seen him there. I think we got our buddy back. Oh, hey.
Hey.
Talk to me, buddy. You there?
Oh, hey. So, anyways, what I really feel about that snare is, wait, do we move on?
Yeah. We're back talking about the coronavirus again. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, that's some scary stuff there, man.
No. We don't. No, it's not that kind of show. It's not that kind of show.
Oh, okay.
Um,
All right.
no, I was just flailing as you were gone. Going, what do I do? What do I talk about? So I spoke about Baby Huey. Got a
We're a great
question
guy.
here from with folklore. How long have you been a wrestling fan, JP? I've been watching since WrestleMania 8, and I think that was 1992. Yeah, that was the one. Everyone
Who
hates that
headlined that one?
WrestleMania, but I loved it. What was that?
Who was the headliners on that WrestleMania?
Yes, it was Hulk Hogan versus Sid Justice, who would later be known as Psycho Sid or Sid Vicious.
Vicious, yeah.
And actually, it was a double main event. That was one of the main events, and the other main event was Ric Flair versus Randy Savage. That was a pretty good match, actually.
That sounds
but
like
it
a
was
good
like
match right there.
yeah, and it was sick. And like the finish was all fucked up to the Hogan Sid Justice match because Papa Shango was supposed to come out, but he like missed his cue, so he came out hella late. And then Warrior came down and like saved the day. Like that was like the coolest shit ever when I was a kid. And I had the WWF magazine with Ultimate Warrior on the cover that came out like the next month. And I was like, sick, I'm gonna take it into the bath with me. And I didn't know magazines couldn't go underwater. That was when I learned.
Hey, you
What
gotta
about
learn
you?
somehow, man.
Yeah. What about you, Joe? When did you get into wrestling?
I was pretty young, and I want to say around the same time. And I mean, my dad used to tape. Like I had like WrestleMania 2. Was it 2 or 3 that had Hogan versus Andre? And
That was 3.
oh, they don't. Sorry, that was 3. Sorry, it's windy out here. I had to move outside, get it
No
out of the
problem, baby.
bricks.
No
And then,
worries, buddy.
So, anyways, so I'd always watch that. And what I really remember was, I'm a poor speller. And in the second or third grade, my dad would always say, "Hey, wrestling's coming around. We could go to a local wrestling match. We'd go like to Oakland Coliseum and watch wrestling, but you got to pass your spelling tests."
Ooh.
And I used to cheat the hell out of those spelling tests so I could go watch, different people like Papa Shango live and the Big Boss Man and Nails. It was just their traveling circuit, so it wasn't like the real big guys. But
So
I mean, we used to sit and watch people walk into the entrance out of their limousines, like the $1 Million Man.
damn, that's cool. See, you had someone that supported your wrestling watching. I didn't. My mom thought it was fucking stupid. And
So
fair
then
enough.
I got
She
out
didn't.
of it. I got out of. Go ahead.
No. Please finish.
I was gonna say I got out of it when they really announced when they started announcing that it was fake, and then the magic got taken away from me, and then I came back into it for the Monday Night Wars,
Mm-hmm.
and I really thought that NWO and the Outsiders was really fucking cool.
Well, you're right. They were. They
Right?
were cool. Yeah, they were fucking cool. Yeah. I don't think my mom ever like wanted me to not watch it, but she couldn't give a shit about it, and she definitely didn't take me anywhere. I love that whole idea about going and hanging out where the limos are, and seeing like the wrestlers came out. Because I went to a show. It was last year. It was the SmackDown 20th anniversary show at the Staples Center, and Laura and I went, and as we were walking to our car, we walked by that exact area that you were talking about, where all the wrestlers are coming out and waiting for their limos to pick them up. And so I was like, "Oh, let's hang out and look for a while." And people are just crazy, yelling crazy shit at these guys. And then we're like, "Okay." After we observed the wrestlers just as regular people getting into their fucking cars, they're not even doing a show. They're just regular people at that point, leaving the venue and getting into their car. But there's all of us wrestling fans out there going like, "Booker T, the King." So anyway, after that novelty sort of wore off, me and Laura were like, all right, let's walk back to our car now. And we're walking, and I turn around, and walking right behind us, 5 feet behind us, is Jeff Jarrett. And he's like, he's walking to his like little bus or whatever. But it was so weird. We turned out, I was like, oh shit, it's Jeff Jarrett, let's go. Let's not Let's not get in his way.
You don't want to be on his list.
No, I don't want to be on. No, that's Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho had the list. Okay, do you remember the list?
Jeff Jarrett. Yeah, okay. Same. They look the same in my head. I forgot.
Are you thinking of Jeff Jericho?
Jeff Jericho. No, Jeff Jarrett had the guitar, and he, right? He used to hit people with his, he was with a badass Billy Gunn, right?
Okay, so, all right, you're partly.
I'm mixing them all up.
You're halfway there. Yeah, he'd come out with a guitar, and no, he came out with the Roadie, not Billy Gunn. His tag team partner, the Roadie, Road Dogg. Remember?
Oh yeah, Jesse James. Okay.
The Road Dogg.
That's
Jesse
when
James.
I got out of wrestling when they got into it. So that I don't know. I didn't watch it as much.
I was fully into it at that time. So yeah, the Road Dogg, Jesse James. It was the Roadie was his, and then after Jarrett left WWF, Vince was so mad at him. They wrote an angle about the Road Dogg, and they made it look like Jeff Jarrett. Okay, so the Roadie actually wrote all the songs, and Jeff Jarrett stole them. So that was the angle Vince was trying to push to make Jeff Jarrett mad, even though he had left the company already. And then Jeff Jarrett would later go on to extort or sort of blackmail Vince for about $500,000. But that's another story. We'll get into that another time, because it's about that time. Baby Huey is here. What do you say we bring him in, Joe?
Let's do it.
Oh, you look like you want to fight him.
No way, dude. Do you see how big that guy is?
You guys are evenly matched, I gotta say. But that's not the kind of show. We don't do that here. This is not a fighting show. Okay, well, without further ado, let's bring on Baby Huey. There he is. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Awesome.
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome. So, where are you? Are you at the Bone Studios?
Yes, I am. I'm actually in one of our production studios. I don't know if I could spin the camera around, but yeah, I'm in one of our production studios right down the hall from our main studio. So we have a bunch of like smaller studios all around. We could do like a bunch of different projects, side work, and production related work. And so I think I want a place nice and quiet so I can talk to you guys. I can be loud. I got soundproofing walls in here. I can just be myself and not worry about other people staring at me.
Well, I love it. Thank you so much. For those who don't know, Huey is the producer for the Lamont and Tonelli show. Do I have that right?
Yes, I am.
And you're in San Francisco. So my first question, what is going on with radio right now in terms of how you guys sort of produce your shows in COVID times? What's going on?
Dude, it is a ghost town here. Literally, like in the mornings, probably like less than 10 people here. So we have some sister stations in the building. So down the hall, we have KMBR, we have KGO, KSFO, and all the hosts for those stations are all broadcasting at home. And the only people coming in are like the producers and board operators, people that do all the behind the scenes stuff, make sure they're all on the air.
Right.
Luckily for me, my host, Lamont Antonelli, they've been coming in the whole time. So they're still here. So they're actually in the main Bone studio right now. So I was kind of tempted, like, oh, maybe I should set up in there and talk to you guys from there. But they're still in there right now doing their post-show work. So I was like, I don't want to interfere with them. But it was interesting. So like back in March when word was coming down, like, okay, there's going to be a shutdown and there's going to be a shelter in place, working from home. There's a lot of people. We were trying to figure out our strategy, all the stations. And obviously the first response was like, okay, everyone needs to broadcast from home, stay at home, do your job. And so like our poor engineering staff, we're trying to find equipment and all this stuff for everyone, microphones, and everyone has all the proper equipment to work from home. My hosts, they were like, they felt like, wait, if we're at home, we don't think the show's going to sound as well because we're all not going to be seeing each other. There might be an echo, whatever room you're in, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so for them, they're like, well, listen, if everyone else is at home, theoretically, we're not around anyone. So we won't be exposed to anyone. So that was kind of the strategy. And for anyone who behind the scenes, how it looks. So Lamont and Tonelli, they're in a studio and they're already like 6+ feet apart on different microphones. So for them, they're already far apart from each other. Shasta, she is in a whole different studio, so she doesn't interact with them. And when they leave the studio, they wear their mask and all this stuff. And we get here super early in the morning in San Francisco, so we don't see anyone on the street. So it's like we're not interacting with people. And then when we leave here, there's no one to really deal with. So for them, they're like, we might as well just come in still because we're not going to be exposing ourselves to anyone. So that was kind of the strategy. And so Chasta, my coworker, she wanted to work from home, and she luckily has a studio already set up. So about 4 years ago, when she gave birth to her son, when she was on maternity leave, she had a studio built in her garage. So she dusted that off and just started doing the show from home. So she's been there. I haven't seen her in 6 months, 6+ months.
Oh, wow.
But luckily for me, I get to see Lamont Antonelli every day. I just use her studio, do a lot of my work in there.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so that's the main thing. But it's just strange. I have not seen so many of my coworkers in over 6 months, 7 months now almost. Just everyone's broadcasting from home. Everyone is working from other departments. Like, I miss people. It's so weird.
Yeah, so in a way, it's like it's almost business as usual, but not, because no one is there.
Correct. It's so trippy. Like back in March and April when things were initially starting, just like how quiet the streets were, especially at 4, 5, 6 in the morning. I mean, getting this to work for me because I live in Alameda, so going across the Bay Bridge was super fast. Like
the breeze,
no traffic, and then it's just like I said, like not a lot of coworkers here, so it's just been trippy. Like not interacting with a lot of people. Everything. I mean, luckily for me, when I come in here, I have to do a lot of behind the scenes work. So people will email me stuff. Hey, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you get these guys to record this? I'm like, okay. So I'm recording stuff. I'm sending it back to people. So I'm like the middle person to get all these little projects done. So there are a very small staff that comes in because there are some little things that needs to go on here to stay on the air. So it's been so trippy.
Do you have plans to go to WrestleMania this year?
I did.
I had a feeling because you seem to end up there every year. You're covering. Do you cover it for the Bone, or is that strictly for your? Yeah,
it's kind of both. I mean, so the podcast started a couple years ago, kind of under the Bone umbrella, putting everything on the Bone website, and then sorry, Tonelli's walking by making faces at me right now. That's the tough part at this radio station. There's never like a true quiet hiding spot.
Oh, that's great though.
Listen, if a lot of these studios, you can see we have like these windows here, and it's like you're like a fishbowl. You're always on display. Yeah. People walk by and stare at you doing your thing. So I'm always kind of self-conscious, like who's walking by looking at me. So
yeah, I'll let you know if someone's in the background. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So I was gonna say, but yeah. So the podcast initially started kind of under the Bone umbrella. We put everything on the Bone website.
And that's the In The Kliq podcast.
Yeah. So that started a couple years ago. And so, yeah, we're kind of using that as so when we go cover WrestleMania or something, we put our coverage, what we get content-wise, up on the Bone website. So that's kind of how that all worked together.
Do you feel like the audience is sort of mesh? Is there a big wrestling audience that listen to 107.7 The Bone?
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, when we give away tickets for Raw or SmackDown, whenever they come to the Bay Area,
I've won SmackDown tickets from the Bone back in 2005. I called Steven Seaweed and I got SmackDown tickets, man.
Yeah, so I mean, needless to say, that's the cool thing. Like we're at a point where whenever WWE comes to the Bay Area, because they're like a traveling circus. They when they're able to travel, they go from city to city to city. And so they rely on the local media outlets in that respective market that they're going into to help promote their show. And so it's so cool and happy that we're at a point now whenever WWE comes to town, they always hit us up. And so usually like a couple months before a show happens, they'll email me, they'll email our sales department. They're like, hey, we're coming through at this time. We're about to announce it. Can we give away tickets? Do you want to do this interview? And I'm so happy. Like I have somewhat of a working relationship with WWE. So
it's
awesome.
Amazing. I'm so jealous of your life. You've interviewed you've interviewed some pretty heavy hitters in the wrestling industry and the rock and roll industry. We'll get into that later. Okay. But Cody Rhodes knows you by name. Well, I mean, that's awesome.
That's so trippy. Cody is like legit. I mean, not to break kayfabe, but like either he's a heel or a baby face, no matter what, whenever I see him, he is super down to earth, easy to talk to. Like the best story was, okay, so when WrestleMania 31 was here in the Bay Area, so that was what, 5-6 years ago now. My old co-host at the time, Jimbo, him and I, we did Radio Row down there at the San Jose Convention Center, and it was awesome. We got to go. They gave us a table. All these tables were spread out, all these different media outlets, and we sit there, and they bring all these different superstars to us, and we got to interview a bunch of them. Cody at the time, he was still Stardust, and he did this very fun, wacky interview. You know, he was in character the whole time, and that's where we first got to meet him. And jump ahead a few years later when he left WWE and started going on the indie scene and just kind of re-debut him as just Cody Rhodes. And when he made his first appearance at All Pro Wrestling couple
Hayward.
Years ago.
Shout out to APW from Hayward.
Yeah. Yep. So we went to the show. The show was in Pacifica at a middle school, and we went in there, and we haven't seen Cody, I would say at that point, 2-3 years, maybe. So Jimbo and I, we got in line, and we was like, let's go meet him. Let's go say hi to him. I swear to God, I swear on my mom, whatever. We get up to him, and he says, "Baby Huey, Jimbo," and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Dude, you won me for life, a fan for life. Did you remember me?" And he said, "Hey, come here," and so we chatted up for a few, and it was super cool. And then, like, jump ahead when APW put on the show at the Cow Palace, and he was in the main event. He called in. We did an interview with him, and then a couple years ago when he was with New Japan at the time doing some stuff at the Cow Palace. He was doing these one-on-one interviews in this room, and Jimbo and I walked.
Is this the ladies' first moment?
Oh no, that's a separate one.
Okay.
Like 2
Please
months
continue.
Later. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, thank you for reminding me. So, so this is it was on Treasure Island. This like press conference for promoting the matches at
on Treasure Island.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I was like, Treasure Island. When we got the invite, I was like, Treasure Island. Like,
nothing happens there.
Exactly. Like I don't think I've ever stopped there. Literally maybe to spin around if I like made a wrong turn and I need to go back to San Francisco or something. But so it's like some like little small school. I don't know what it was, but so we go in there and they have like all the different matches. It's almost like a boxing press conference. So each wrestler comes out, they take a few minutes to speak. The press got to ask questions. They had camera crews there. It was really cool setup. And then afterwards, they had one-on-one interviews or media time. And so Cody was in this room. So Jimbo and I went in, and we're all like squeezing in with all these other people. And I think me or Jimbo, one of us threw out a question. It's like, like pro sports where everyone just starts throwing out questions. So we threw out a question, and he's like, "Baby Huey, Jimbo," like. And then he did that to some other outlets, people that were there, press people. He was calling them out. So kudos to Cody as far as he remembers people and will even like rib them a little bit, in an interview setting. Yeah. That's cool.
He's putting you over. It's your job to put him over. He's putting you over.
And so 2 months later, Jimbo and I did a road trip and went down to Long Beach because New Japan had a big show there.
At the Pyramid. I'm so sad I missed that show, dude, but oh man.
So much fun. And so luckily because of the Cow Palace stuff, we kind of built a relationship with Access TV, who was at the time the TV partnership with New Japan. And so we asked them, like, "Hey, can we come down to Long Beach?" And like, "Sure, come on down." So they're like, "All right." So Jimbo and I road trip down there. And so Cody had his match, and he just was the NWA World Heavyweight Champion along with the IWGP US champion. And so he's doing his post-match interview. And so I'm filming this because I was like, okay, let's get some social media stuff out of this. And Jimbo, as people seen the video, probably, it's at In The Kliq's Instagram. If you scroll down in the video, Jimbo went to ask a question. But then on the other side of the room, some girl from another outlet started talking at the same time. And Cody told Jimbo, "Hey, man, ladies first. and then uh and then he told the but then he says, Jimbo,
Yeah, he
get
recognized him. Yeah.
get over here, Jimbo. And so Jimbo, he walks over and then kneels down by the table with Brandy and Cody, and he's just sitting there, and he's like, "You're part of this now." And so I'm filming this. Like, that's the thing. People give me crap my entire life that I document everything. And so I'm in this moment. I'm filming this. I'm like, this is gold. And Jimbo's smiling. I'm taking photos. I'm filming it. And so then Cody started asking, had the girl give her question. And so Jimbo's just standing there. And I think if you look at one of the old episodes of 10 Pounds of Gold on NWA's YouTube channel, or even New Japan's YouTube channel, if you just look up Cody Rhodes press conference or post-match press conference, Long Beach, you can see Jimbo in the video. So that night, him and I were looking on YouTube for all these different outlets uploading the video. And sure enough, Jimbo's on all these videos. And like, luckily for me, I'm filming this. So if you listen to my video, you hear me laughing. Like I giggle so easily. And so when this happened, I'm like, oh my God, this is a once in a lifetime moment. I'm laughing, and it was so cool. I mean, so yeah.
Credit to Jimbo too. He, you know, it could have been an embarrassing situation. Cody sort of made him stand in front of the whole class, essentially. You know,
exactly.
And he just sat there at the table with him, and he handled it. He handled it like a boss.
It was awesome. So I mean, like, Cody has been like super down to earth, and I've been very lucky to kind of build. I should pick up the name drop, but becomes like friends with Chris Jericho.
Yeah,
like that to me is like really cool, and just kind of get to know some of these guys over the years. Like Chris Jericho, like humble brag, like whenever he comes to San Francisco, he hits me up now to do an interview / hang out.
oh, that's awesome.
Words can't describe it. If you had told like 10-year-old me that like these guys that I grew up watching in middle school and high school, the Attitude Era and all that stuff, that I become friends with them or know some of them, all that hard work, it was totally worth it. So
that's incredible, man. And it is a lot of hard work. You've been at the Bone since 2005? 2000?
Yeah,
wow.
Good knowledge, dude.
Yeah, man. I studied.
I was gonna say, so trippy. At the end of August, I got an email from corporate. It's like, oh, we want to say happy 15-year anniversary at the Bone. I was like, whoa. Damn, it's like, oh my God, I feel kind of old now, because I started when I was a senior in college, and now
please
here I am.
Go into that. Actually, how did you get? Because I know you went to Cal, right? And you did radio at Cal.
Yeah, Cal.
Were you interning at the Bone while you were still at Cal?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
talk about that for a little while.
Okay, so a little backstory. I can't preach this enough for anyone out there who's trying to figure out what to do. Junior college. I did junior college for 2 years. I went to Laney College, played basketball at Merritt College. And then 2 years later, I reapplied to Cal, and I got into their program, mass communications program. And so I transferred the summer of 2004 was my transfer year. And so I was going to start fall 2004. And so that summer, I was like, you know what? Like, I want to get an internship. I want to start working in radio. And I emailed a bunch of radio DJs at the time and was asking for advice, how to get my foot in the door, all that stuff. All of them said the same thing: internship. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So, and this is the little backstory. So I applied to Live 105. And I can talk about them now. They're gone. Technically, they're a different.
Well, what are they called now? I'm in SoCal.
Alt 105.3.
Alt 105. Okay.
So they dropped the whole live thing, and yeah, they're not the same station as they once were. And so listen, a little backstory. Like, growing up in the Bay Area, as a kid from the 80s and 90s, I loved Live 105 at the time because, growing up, I was a huge fan of grunge and punk, and Live 105 was playing all those bands, the modern rock bands that I grew up with. Like, that was my generation. And so jump ahead to 2004. I was like, okay, if I had to pick a station to intern, it's like, of course I want to be one of the stations I grew up listening to. So I applied to be on their, I think at the time it was called Action Team. It's like their promotion team. I was like, okay, that's what get started. And so I applied. I had an interview with them. I was so nervous. It was my first job interview. And I know what to expect. I mean, here I am, like, what, it was like 20 years old. I'm like, I never had like a real job before because I was always playing basketball and all this other stuff, school stuff. So I was like, I never had a job interview. I didn't know what to do. And so I dressed up best I could. And I went to the interview. I went to the station and I was in their office and I saw some DJs coming in and out and I was trying to recognize them based on their voice. I didn't know what they really look like. And so I'm sitting there and I meet with the promo guy and I still remember his name because, well, there's more to it. But so I do the interview. I'm super nervous. And my resume at the time, it was kind of thin because like I haven't really experienced much.
You're just a kid.
I was like, I didn't have much to put down there. And so we do the interview and I'm trying to tell this guy, like, I grew up loving your station. Like I can tell you all the DJs, the bands that you guys exposed me to. And at the end, he had me do like a test, like based on the format of how much I know about these bands. And keep in mind, this is 2004. And so this is where they started playing more like the indie rock and a lot of bands, like they kind of changed the format. They were evolving. And so I wasn't listening as much because I was still the grunge, punk, metal kid. So I wasn't listening to them as much. And so I didn't know the answers to a lot of these bands. And so I'm sure I failed badly on that test. So
you failed a knowledge test with Live 105.
Yeah. And I was like, what the F is this? And then a couple weeks later, I got an email that says, we found someone else. So, or the position's been filled. Thank you for your time. I'm like, mother effer. I'm like, I was so pissed. I was like, there's no, like, I was like, that's like my station I grew up with. I was so pissed. I was like, damn it. And I was like, well, what else can I do? And I was like, okay, college radio. Let me try college radio. And I was kind of looking things up and like, I know I've heard from some people, Chabot has an amazing program and there's a lot of people from some DJs in the Bay Area at the time who came from the Chabot program. But for me, since I was going to Cal, I was like, okay, let me check out Cal station. And they have a college radio station, Calix, KALX 90.7. And I that summer I approached them. I went over there or checked the website at the time. I was like, how can I get involved? And I told them I'm about to be a transfer student. And they told me, okay, you got to help out in different departments and you got to like work so many hours and then you earn the opportunity to be on the air and you got to be on the middle of the night, which was.
Are you just getting whipped at that point? You're just sort of like a slave in the office?
Dude, but it was so trippy. Like those years I look back were so much fun because just there was no pressure. It was just be yourself. And so I started volunteering in the news department. So I would go on a couple in the evening and read news stories because they actually had like a news segment like at like 6 p.m. or something. So I would go in a couple hours beforehand, look for odd stories, type them up in my own words and read them on the air. So it was fun. I was like, that was like my first time on the air. It was reading these news stories. I'm like, there's a man was arrested in Minnesota for whipping out his doll. I don't know. I was trying to find odd stories. Like we were we had, I think if I remember correctly, we kind of the freedom to pick what we want. Like we had to pick like, I think like an international, a national, and a local story. If I remember correctly, it's been so long now. And then I did some production work because that was my first time I got to learn basic Pro Tools and so some other stuff. And then
and you're still at CalX at this time.
Yes, in 2004. And so I started there and then I finally got to start doing DJing in the middle of the night. And I had to come up with a radio name. And I was like, I need a name. And I remember I put it out on MySpace at the time. I was like, hey, I'm about to be on Calix. I need a name. And I remember, God, what was his name? The drummer from Death Toll. I don't know if you guys remember Death Toll back in the day. But he said, you should go Danarchy. Because my real name's Danny. He's like, Danarchy. I'm like, that's awesome. Yes. And I was also helping out hosting the metal show at Calix called At War with Heaven. I was like, that's such a badass name too. So I was paying my dues there and was doing the 3:30 to 6 a.m. shift. And that was so much fun. Just
and what were you playing? Just like metal and punk and stuff?
Yeah. So the rule was you could play whatever you want, but you had to at least keep it 3 different genres in. So for me, I'm like, okay, punk, metal, I don't know, ska. Like I was like,
The next logical step.
yeah,
Ska.
they're all kind of closely together, but they say it has to be at least 3 different genres per hour. I'm like, okay, I can follow that rule.
Yeah.
And then like sometimes my brother would come with me, and so he would. Calix has an amazing music library in there, so my brother would get lost and pick out some like old school R&B and like some other genres. And it was so much fun. And
How can I have a question about college radio, because I love college radio. I still listen to college radio. It got me into so many different kinds of music and so many different types of bands. How important in this day is college radio? Do people still listen to it? And do you recommend that route for people that want to break into radio?
Yeah. Okay. Well, a couple things. So, I mean, obviously, it's community radio. I mean, that's their big thing. They say that they're, I think like once an hour, if I remember correctly, we had to say KALX or KALX 90.7 community radio or something. I forgot. It was some like legal thing we had to say once an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, community. It's very much local. They don't do commercials, if I remember correctly. So they rely on fundraisers to raise money. So God, I don't have it here. I still have my KALX bag, like album bag. I still use to just carry equipment in. But yeah, they rely on fundraisers, people donating. It's very much a community, a part of the local Bay Area scene, and just being connected with people. As far as getting into radio, of course, I would highly recommend people going to college radio route if you want to learn like the basics of like, working a microphone. And you can't see it here, but I have a soundboard here, basic audio editing. Like, I can't recommend that enough, just to get some knowledge. But then again, I'm sure nowadays people can go to YouTube University and just look up everything on YouTube. But at the same time,
I'm a graduate from that place.
Exactly. But dude, at the same time, like, keep in mind, this is 2004. Here we are in 2020. There's so many different ways now to become a broadcaster.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at you guys. You guys are doing this awesome Twitch channel. Like, look at you. You got a mic. You look like you're a professional broadcaster. You are now. You both are now. Like, you guys are professionals now. Like, you're doing it. And like, for me, growing up, from my understanding at the time, was okay to make it in broadcasting, radio, TV, whatever. The mentality was, okay, you got to go work in a small market, pay your dues, kind of develop your craft, just practice. And then from there, move up to a medium-sized market, start getting more comfortable. And then from there, if you're lucky, go to a large market. So that
is not what you did, is it?
No, I don't do it. There's pros and cons to that. But
you dove into the deep end of the pool.
Yeah, no, San Francisco is the 4th largest market in America. New York, LA, Chicago, and then San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Dallas after that. So, yeah, go from college radio to the bone here in San Francisco. It was a big jump. But no, I'm just saying, like, today, people can broadcast from home, podcast from home. You can, like, I think like the small market was the old format of like the minor leagues, the farm system. But now people can practice and develop their personalities, become a personality from home. And that's so that old mentality, I like to throw it out the window. And I tell people who are asking me questions, I'm like, dude, start a podcast at home, develop a YouTube channel, Twitch now, develop a social media following. Like, there's so many ways to develop yourself as a personality, or I guess the cool kids say influencer, whatever it is. But there's so many ways you can work on your craft and get comfortable in front of a microphone now. Like, there's so many ways. And so for me, I just want to say real quick about college radio. So that following year, I was trying to do as much as I can at KALX and build up my resume. Jump ahead to the following summer, 2005. I was like, you know what? I want to try again, get an internship in radio. So that's when I applied to 107.7 The Bone. And The Bone at the time was still only a few years old, if I remember correctly. So they were still
used to be a rap station, right? Wild 107?
Yeah, Wild 107. And then if I remember correctly, in the 90s, the two companies switched. Like, they traded signals. And then 107 became, I think, country. And then It was like a light rock station.
I don't remember that part.
Yeah,
Wow.
because I remember like growing up, I had the wild. I didn't have, but I mean, like my classmates would have Wild 107.7 stickers, and I remember like the following year it was Wild 94.9. I was like, what happened? Because I wasn't listening to the music, but people were like, oh, they changed stations. Like, oh, okay, but
Yeah.
and so the following summer, I was like, I want to apply to the Bone because the Bone at that time was playing all the classic rock and bands that I grew up on. From my aunt would play for me and my parents, all that stuff. I was like, you know what? I'll try them. Like Live 105 did not accept me. Like, screw them.
Yeah, they're all stuck up anyway.
It's their loss. So I applied to the Bone, and this time around my resume was a lot fuller of all the stuff I was doing in college radio. And it showed them that I was really passionate about radio. I did a couple of interviews, and then I got hired in the promotions department. And my office day was Monday. I would come in, grab the price sheets, call the contest winners, send stuff out, do all the work, doing promotion events, all the grunt work, pay your dues.
Mm-hmm.
And so the old rule was, or it's kind of still to this day, but at the time was like, don't go in the studio until after 10 a.m. to grab the price sheets. So, if you start at 9:30, do some other work. I used to check the voicemails. I used to check emails to kill time. But sometimes I would sneak up early, like at 9:50, and I would go in there and say hi to Lamont and Tonelli, Stephen C. I would just start talking to them.
Yeah.
As I'm grabbing the price sheets, I'm making small talk and kind of get to know them that way. And then, but that's what I'm saying. Like the importance of college radio, it helped prove to people that I was serious. Like it was a great way, a stepping stone to figure out if I really want to do this, which I did, and then build up my resume, and then was able to use that to get a job from that. And so so that's summer 2005. That's when I started working at the Bone and just try to make friends with everyone. And yeah,
Look at you now.
Yeah, the rest is history. There's a lot more to that, but yeah, that's the quick Cliff Notes version.
Well, yeah, of course. And and about college radio, man, I just want everybody to, I love it so much. And I want everybody to just go find a college radio station and listen to it for a little while and understand what they do there, because it is it is like the Wild West of radio. You turn on sort of those lower, the 89.7, 89.9, and you get into these shows and you're like, what am I listening to? Like, what the hell is this? This is not normal radio stuff. And then you sort of wait till the end, and then some college student tells you what it is. And now all of a sudden I'm listening to college radio. Like I got into it at a young age because I heard all these things I had never heard before, So that's my rant about college radio.
I mean, the Bay Area, between Calex, Chabot, and even San Jose State.
KSJS. Love it.
Dude, I remember I left a show at like the event center on San Jose State's campus, and I turned them on. It was like 90.5, if I remember correctly. And they were playing some badass songs. I'm like, what is this? And I'm listening on my ride home. I was like, oh my God, there's some cool songs that they're playing in bands. And then unfortunately, when I think I got past like Fremont, Union City, it started kind of, getting a little static. I was like, okay. And then I heard it was a college radio station. I'm like, that's awesome. So I was like, that alone, we have 3 amazing radio stations. And even shout out to my old high school, Ensenada High School in Alameda. They have a radio program now.
Really?
So, yeah. They started it a couple years ago. It's so awesome. The vice principal, or the guy who puts it on, Kevin Gorham, he's been hitting me up for help with that. He came by for a tour one day, so I got to show the kids some stuff here. So before the pandemic, I wanted to come check out the radio station on my old high school, but unfortunately I haven't had to yet because of the pandemic, but one day I will check it out. So
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
high school radio.
Awesome.
How about that? Hey, Big Joe, you've been eerily silent over there. I got a question for you. What was your radio station back in the day? Because when we were kids, we had a choice of rock stations. There was KSJO, there was Live 105, and KSJO and the Bone were sort of battling for a minute, weren't they?
Yeah. Long story short, so Lamont and Tonelli, they left KSJO, I think in 2002, and they started the Bone January 2003. And the Bone was still fairly new at that point. They were playing classic rock. And I remember at the time when I started, my old PD was like, let's go after KSGO. So they started playing what's called like active rock bands. And so we started playing Little Disturb, Godsmack, and I was like, okay. I was like, all right, cool. And then because we were trying to take out KSJO, KSJO eventually went Spanish, went away, and so we were like the main rock station. But then our PD over time started scaling it back and started focusing more on the classic rock band. So less Godsmack, more AC/DC and Led Zeppelin and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna say, back in the day, I mean, for me, it was like Live 105, The Bone in the early 2000s, KSJO, obviously for years, KOME, even the Fox.
Forgot about KOME.
The Fox in Santa Rosa, right? They were around too. Modesto had some great stations. So it's been, the Bay Area's had very different rock stations all around the surrounding area. So
Joe, what did you listen to back then? You there, buddy?
Sorry, I got a real bad signal. I was Live 105.
No Name.
Live 105 all the way. And
No Name's
No
awesome.
Name. And I was listening to one day I was listening to No Name. The next day Kevin Kline was on, and I caught the very beginning of his show and the end of his show too. And I haven't caught his new show yet, but I really became fond of that. And then The Bone, listened to a lot of Bone. And then honestly, I don't know the call signs of it, but I listened to a 91.1. It was a jazz station.
I love that one.
That plays a lot of jazz, and Friday nights they play the blues. It's called Crazy About the Blues.
They're still going too, Joe.
They are. Oh, I have their app, and being out in Denver, I still listen to it.
Oh, nice. Live 105 was kind of my shit when I was a kid because I was a big Green Day, Offspring. I liked kind of shit like that. And No Name was so cool. Like, I just thought he was the coolest dude, like, on the radio. I wanted to hang out with him. And then later I'd get to meet him, and he turned out to be the nicest guy I've ever met.
Dude, No Name is such good people. Like, I can't say enough good things how awesome he's been to me. Like, he was my coworker for the last few years with K-Fog. Unfortunately, K-Fog went away last September.
Sad.
Yeah, sad. I know, very sad.
Grew up with listening to Dave Morey on the K-Fog, man.
That voice, dude.
The voice.
I mean, I can't do it justice.
That was close.
No Name, such good people. Like, the first time I met No Name, remember when X Games were at Piers 30 and 32?
Tony Hawk jumped in the water and everything.
Yeah. So I went to that. I forgot which year it was. And No Name was broadcasting out there. So I went inside the tent, and I was like, I'm a high school kid. I'm like, I want to do radio. Oh my God, it's a live broadcast. And so I got to see him do his thing, and we interacted there. So jump ahead years later, when No Name started working here, I told him that story, and he's like, all right, dude, yeah. so it's just so trippy. Like, he's doing his thing as a DJ, and I was just a fan, a listener, interacting with them, and then we become, coworkers and then friends. He is such amazing people. I can't say enough good things about No Name right now. I mean, he is such awesome. I know he's been through a lot, his personal life that he talked on the air, but he's such good people, and
he really is.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I have a No Name story. Joe and I, when he was hosting Creepy Coffee Movie Time, which was just a great gem of a late night local show. Our band, me and Joe's band, Zombie Holocaust, was on that show one time, and so we were there getting ready to be interviewed by No Name and Ball Rock.
Ball Rock, yeah.
Yeah. And they were trying to refilm this segment that apparently they didn't get everything. So they're trying to refilm this segment, and No Name is just barking at his producer. Like, his producer's like, no, we got to do it again. And No Name was going off on him. And I was like, whoa, I was not expecting to, like, I'd never met No Name. And I was like, whoa, dude, like, he's intense. Like, he's really intense. The guy was like, no, we got to do it again. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do it again. And then he did it again. He's like, no, that was fine. I don't want to do it again. So I'm like kind of scared now because we're next to go be interviewed by this guy. And we walk right up and he goes, hey, what's up, guys? Zombie Holocaust, Bay Area Thrash. Sick, dude. Fucking sick, man. I was like, thanks, man. And he was so nice to us. I guess he just hated that producer because, like, man, he was so nice to us. I felt bad for that guy because he got ripped a new one right in front of a bunch of people. But wow. No Name, what a great guy. I think he's out in Castro Valley now, which is my hometown.
Yeah. He's still.
So-
I think he's still out there. He's had because when he left K Fog, I don't want to speak too much for him, but he currently change of career paths right now. So
Yeah.
last time I talked to him, but he's still very much active with his motorcycle riding. If you follow him on Instagram, he's always posting stuff. I've been meaning to hang out with him, but this whole pandemic started. Like this pandemic has put my whole social life on hold.
No, this is how we hang out now, Huey.
I
This is
know,
it.
dude. This is it. Like I want to hug you, or something like, that's all I can do now.
Well, Baby Hugh, I know you're a busy guy, so we won't keep you for too long. I do have a couple questions for you before you get out of here. You've interviewed so many people in so many different, so many different walks of music and walks of life. Who are some of the highlights that you've interviewed? Some moments where you're like, holy shit, what I'm interviewing so and so. I know you're good friends with James Hetfield. You guys take bathroom breaks. There's a great picture of you hanging just sort of near James Hetfield while he's taking a piss in a urinal. It is such a great picture. But what are some of your favorite interviews or just celebrity interactions? Not celebrity, but rock star interactions.
Okay. I'm trying to think which I can run down. Okay, I will say this: nicest rock star ever, Alice Cooper. He was super chill. He came in one day, was with Stephen C. We did a celebrity, Hey Mom, I'm on the Bone. I came in there. I was helping film it, I think, or whatever. So a little backstory. I was talking to my coworker at the time, Joe Rock, and we're like, dude, Alice Cooper's coming in. Should we do We're Not Worthy? We're Not Worthy from Wayne's World? And then Joe's like, nah, we probably shouldn't do it. He probably gets it all the time. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, let's don't bug him with it. And so he comes in, he does the interview, super awesome, fun. And I told him at the end, it's like, listen, Alice, I was gonna say when you walked in, say, we're not worthy. But I was like, I don't want to be that guy. I'm sure you probably get it a lot. Like, I'm just curious. Do people do that though? I'm just curious. He says, every day of my life. I'm like, oh, okay. Good. I think I didn't do it. So
yeah, you made the right choice.
Absolutely. So please, people out there, don't bug Alice Cooper and say we're not worthy. He hears it enough already. But him and Joe Satriani are two the nicest guys ever. I can't say enough good things about Joe Satriani as well.
Satch.
Yeah. Oh my God, so cool. I got drunk with Sammy Hagar. That was awesome.
Wow.
He came in one day and was using our studio to be on another radio show at the time called Rockline. And
Rockline.
Yeah. So I came in to film it. My coworker's like, let's film it and just use the footage for something. I'm like, okay. So I went in there and, it was just him, our engineer, one of his buddies, and me. Sammy brought one of his tequila bottles from his personal stash. And it was like a different one that I haven't seen elsewhere. And he starts drinking it during the interview. He had some pizza and he's like, you want a shot? I'm like, hell yeah, I'm not going to turn down a shot from Sammy Hagar.
Jeez.
And I think it's on YouTube still. If you go to YouTube, type in Huey Cam, Sammy Hagar, drunk whiskey, or I'm sorry, tequila, and you see me taking a shot with him. It was awesome. It was so cool. Yeah, it was. Was I'm trying to think. Something I knew that personally that was really cool was I'm a lifelong Green Day fan. Green Day's my all-time favorite band.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to see the Foxborough Hot Tubs. That's like their side project band.
Yes.
They're playing at the Stork Club in Oakland, and I did an appearance in El Cerrito that night. And I went over there just to see if I can get in. And luckily, I did get in. The door guy, like I said, humble brag. The door guy's like, Huey, come on in. I'm like, all right.
You flex your power, Huey. It's okay, man.
I was like, if I didn't get in, no big deal. So they do the performance, sweaty hot in there. Everyone goes out in the back, and I see Trey Cool. I was like, let me go say hi to him. Like, I gotta say hi to him. And I introduced myself, and I said who I was. And first thing he said, Ta Tuesday. I'm like, yeah. He's like, he saw a TTT sign in San Rafael on some construction site. I'm like, oh, cool. That's awesome. I'll tell the guys about that. And then Billy Joe, I went up to him, and he said, open your hand. I was like, okay. And he goes like this, and I look, and it's coffee beans. So he gifted me coffee beans. He had it in his pockets. I don't know if he was nibbling on them or something. So I think I still have them somewhere. I cherish them. Another, I mean,
What? Just loose coffee beans?
Yeah, it's so weird. I don't know. I didn't ask any questions. I was just in the moment, enjoying it. But I've been very lucky to get to know Billy Joe's family, his siblings, his kids, and just through the music scene and just through other events. And so I get to meet them a few times. And then,
Wow. I'm sure that's a real pinch me sort of moment, you know?
dude. So, okay. God, I'm sorry I'm rambling here, but
no, please, man. This is what we do.
Okay. So, Billy Joe's son, JoE, who plays in Swimmers, but the previous name was called Emily's Army. They played at the Uptown Oakland. I went to it, and I was at the bar. Mike Dern's standing there next to me. We're talking. He's ordering things. I'm like, oh my God, I'm having drinks with Mike Dern. And then Billy's brother Dave says, come with me. So we go upstairs, and he says, here, I want you to meet someone. And he introduces me to Billy Joe. And I was like, I met him once already at the Story Club, but, you know, he meets a lot of people. So it was cool to be reintroduced to him there. And then, you know, just over the years, just interacting with them at various points. Like I keep crossing paths with them. And it's the best feeling because it's like, if you would told 10-year-old me, like, I'm interacting with Green Day, like the band that I loved, that I saw, you know, on MTV, on the radio, bought their albums, you know, all the legendary stuff. I'm still pinching myself. But I was going to say, so they played at the Parkside, God, it was a couple years ago now. I went inside early, and Mike Dern was walking by. He saw me. He came over and gave me a hug. And my coworker saw it. So I was like, you're my witness now. You saw it. Mike Dern hugged me. One of the best feelings, though. I might have to. I probably should reshare this. So, Green Day was playing "Not So Silent Night," and that's Live 105's winter concert. I didn't listen. I work at the Bone. As much as I want to see Green Day, I felt kind of weird going to another radio station's event.
Yeah. If someone takes a picture of you there, it's messy.
Yeah. I didn't want to, deal with that. But at the same time, so that day, literally, I think like at 3-4 o'clock, I get a call from Billy's brother Dave, and he's like, "Hey, are you going tonight?" I'm like, "Nah, I didn't plan on it." He's like, "Do you want to go?" I'm like, "Okay."
Well, yeah.
Correct. He's like, "All right, I'm gonna leave everything at will call for you." I'm like, "Everything?" I'm like, "Okay." So I go over there. I go to will call, and it's a ticket, a wristband, and a laminate. I'm like, "Okay." So I text him like, "I'm here." He says, "Hey, come find me down here." So we meet up. We watch the concert, and during the concert, it was during Know Your Enemy and during like the breakdown, like Billy Joe said, okay, because I'm laughing. He said, "Live 105, the best rock station." Oh my God, I'm totally screwing up what he said, but the best rock station in the entire world, except for the Bone.
Oh,
And I was like, because like when he said Live 105, I'm just standing there going, "All right, whatever." But then like that pause, and he said, "Except for the Bone." If you would have filmed me, I went, "Ah!" I was like, yeah. And I was like, fuck. I was like, I wish someone filmed this, or I filmed it. Sure enough, I went to YouTube that weekend and was like looking, and sure enough, I found it. I downloaded it.
someone got it.
Yeah, so I showed my coworkers, like, look, Billy Joe was at a Live 105 concert and said he loves the Bone more. And so
That is fucking punk, man.
It's on my Instagram. I probably should reshare it just for the sake of it, but maybe I'll do that. I'll reshare it and say, listen to this interview for the full story. But
there we go.
But so it was so cool. And then after the show, I went backstage, and I'm so nervous. Like, I don't know what to do in those situations. It's them with their family and friends just hanging out talking, and I'm like, I hardly know anyone. And I'm a big ass. My big ass is walking there. Like I can't blend in. Everyone sees me, and so I see Mike, and he's with his wife, and they were talking and stuff. I didn't want to interrupt, and so I wasn't there super long. And so, like I said, another humble brag. Mike Dirnt at that time recently started following me on Instagram, which I was
Ooh.
still like, oh my God. Like when he followed me, I was like, what? I was like, oh my God. I was so happy. Like I took a screenshot and sent it to my coworkers. Like, look, he's following me now. And so, so back to that night. So I'm getting ready to leave, and I just tap like Mike on the shoulder. Hey, Mike, I just want to say bye. I'm leaving right now. Just say awesome concert. And he says, oh, great, man. Yeah. Oh, thank you for coming out. All this stuff. And he said, I'm following you now on Instagram, so I can keep track of what you're doing. I'm like, I try to play like inside. I'm like, hell yeah, I know you're following me on Instagram. You think I wouldn't know that? But I was like, I gotta keep cool. I was like, oh yeah, I saw that. Cool, thanks, man. Like I'm trying to play super chill, but inside I'm like, hell yeah, of course. But the fact is, I'm following you on Instagram, so I can keep track of what you're doing now. And I'm like, yeah. So,
Dude, Mike Dirnt's got his eyes on you, man.
I know, dude. Awesome.
Is Billy Joe following you yet or what?
No, come on, Billy Joe, follow me. And Trey,
Yeah.
what's up with that?
I know you're watching, Trey and Billy. Come on, man.
God, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of any cool rock stars. I mean, there's so many. Like, I've been very between the rock stars, comedians, occasional actresses, wrestlers, just any form of entertainment that's been coming to the bone. I just on a quick little side note. So I'm in the process of building like a new home computer, and I've been backing up a bunch of old stuff on external hard drives and trying to reorganize everything. So like my photos I was going through recently, just I'm trying to separate them by year and
You
month.
probably have thousands.
Yeah, so it's so much to go through, but like, Throwback Thursday, I might start resharing some of that old stuff. But it's just I've been very fortunate and lucky to meet so many cool people that I'm a fan of or respect their body of work. So that's the big thing for me. It's just I'm very lucky, and I can't thank everyone enough for who support me along the way, all the hard work, and just everyone who's helped me get to where I'm at. But I have so many stories. Like, God, I mean, I could tell you Metallica stories.
Your book is going to be amazing.
I know, like that's the thing. It's like I should like start writing some of this stuff down. Like I'm at that point.
Absolutely, man.
I don't know, but like I said, I could tell Metallica stories, like the restroom story if you want to hear that. There's so like I'm trying to think what else is there.
I do have a question actually. This isn't this doesn't involve any celebrities or anything. But you mentioned Tata Tuesday earlier. All right, who started the gimmick of Tata Tuesday? Because I know there was another radio, we won't name them, that did Whip 'em Out Wednesdays, and then there was another one that did Flash Fridays.
That one.
Yeah, it was Tom Likas. Do you remember the talk show host? Yeah. So he did Flash Friday. So who did this? Who was first? Who did it first?
See, that's the thing. So whenever all this started, I was still, I think, in high school and college. So for me personally, I don't know. I just know when L&T came to the Bone, they rebranded it as Tata Tuesday. And so it was already in existence before I got there. So I don't know the full origin of who started first. It was already a thing when I got there. So I just was a part of it. And I did it, for a couple years, going out on the roads and every Tuesday getting people to donate to the breast cancer fund. I would call in.
Yeah.
So it's been
still a mystery then.
Yeah, no, and I'm with you. I know about all the other ones who've done it. So listen, like everyone is in different parts of the country, and so everyone's allowed to do their own thing. And at the end of the day, there's plenty of boobs to go around and enjoy. I mean, right? I mean, and for us, it was a good cause. Like, we were trying to raise money for breast cancer, the breast cancer fund. And
it's not a competition.
It's for research and trying to find a cure for it. So, like we were, had a charity involved with ours. So we try to do good things around here.
It's not just misogynistic flashing. Okay, we're trying to raise money.
Exactly.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Well, Baby Huey, I know you're a busy man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, we really actually, Joe, do you have anything to say to Baby Huey, man?
You know what? I just appreciate you coming on. Sorry, I've been silent. I've been cutting in and out of this broadcast all morning, so I don't know what's going on. There was a delivery of a Bowflex right next to me, and the dog started barking, so I muted.
Oh, no.
So,
can I ask for you guys? I mean, like, real talk, like, what's the latest with music-wise, band-wise? Is ZH, Zombie Holocaust, like, completely done? I mean, like, I love you guys and everything that you've done over the years. So, like, I mean, I know you guys all gone different paths. I mean, we all get older and go our different ways in life. So,
Well, I've retired, and Joe,
Okay.
Joe, what's going on with ZH?
We're figuring out how to do this pandemic style. We've been
Yeah.
meeting, talking on FaceTime and just throwing out ideas, and we do have something exciting in the works.
Okay.
Going to be changing things up a little bit,
Yeah.
and I'm real excited for it. And I don't plan on being out in Denver forever,
Okay.
so I'm hoping out to the Bay Area. We're gonna, things will start clearing up. We'll hit some studio. My goal is to write as much music as possible, and then when things open up, we're hitting the studios, and you'll see a lot of music from a lot of people. I think,
Yeah.
especially like the guys from Fog of War just released something. They're keeping busy. I hope everyone's keeping busy, putting their heart out.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. I wanted to say to you guys is like, thank you for like all the years of music and entertainment. I mean, uh,
No.
but like, no, real talk. Like, think about it. Like, listen, I know there's been a lot of documentaries about like the Bay Area thrash metal scene from like the 80s
Yeah.
and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And I know like things changed in the 90s. There was grunge, there was the punk revival, all that stuff. But then like by the early to mid 2000s, I really like to say there was like a second wave of thrash metal popularity all over the place, but especially here in the Bay Area, that scene, and for me, that was like my high school slash college, post college years. So,
Yeah.
and you guys were part of that scene and like part of bands that I loved. And so I hope one day someone will take the time and like properly document that era of the
So
Bay Area metal scene.
yeah, thank you so much for saying that. By the way, that warms my heart, man. And about the documentary, I think now is a good time to make that documentary, or maybe 5 years from now, because there was a documentary, but it sort of came out during the whole re-thrash movement. I forget what it's called, but there is some kind of like documentary on the rise, the rise again of Bay Area
Yeah.
thrash
Okay.
metal.
Okay.
And I think ZH is actually featured in it. I think Nick and Dan from ZH are in there.
Oh,
But
really? Okay.
yeah, like I said, it sort of happened during the movement, the thrash thing, and it's sort of, I don't want to say it's fizzled out, but I have in the past, so I'll say it's fizzled out. But
Yeah, I
but
mean, people.
that was a good time.
Yeah, I mean, just like, but that whole time period, because like for me, high school and college, I was going to like a lot of underground punk shows at like Gilman, the Hazmat, Burnt Ramen, all these different venues putting on shows, and then I noticed that kind of crossed over into like this thrash metal scene.
Mhm.
And so for me, my brother and I, we were going to as many as we could. I mean, Gilman. I know Blake's had. I mean, I went to an awesome show at Blake's. I think it
Ooh,
was
Blake's.
Warbringer. Oh my God, Bonded by Blood. I think it was. And so but there was all these bands like that were like on Earache Records and
Yeah.
Nuclear Blast. I mean, all these
Mhm.
amazing bands, but here in this locally, all over from Sacramento, Sonoma, here in the Bay, in the East Bay, South Bay. I mean, like it was so much fun. I have so much of this music, and I was like, this should all be documented at some point. I mean, but then for me, like, look, I still wear my municipal waste hat
Hey.
to work. I mean, like I love like municipal waste, Warbringer, all these, like there was like a big second wave of like thrash metal
Oh yeah.
crossover, all that stuff. So it's like I really want to see that properly documented. But like I said, like I love seeing you guys supporting, watching you perform. It was so much fun, all that stuff. And I mean, if people keep playing, by all means, that's awesome. I know, like I said, people go in different paths in their lives, things change,
Yeah.
evolve, scenes come and go as well. But like I said, I can't thank you guys enough for just all the great music that you guys have done and just the fun times, the good times, man. It's all about.
My heart. Thank you so much, man.
You're
That
welcome.
makes me feel good.
And
Yeah, thank you, man.
and
Appreciate
dude,
that.
congrats on you guys doing this whole Twitch thing. Like it's awesome. Like no, like I know. I'm sorry, I keep rambling here. You're probably
No.
like, dude, I gotta move on. But
No.
like long story short, like I said earlier, like I'm trying to build a new computer. Like I want to jump on this. This is so awesome.
Yeah.
This is the future. I mean, Twitch, podcasting, YouTube, all this live streaming. creating shows and putting it online, people tuning in. I mean, this is awesome what you guys are doing. So please keep it up. I'll be hitting you guys up privately, like for advice on how to do this. Like I'm getting all the equipment together. Like literally last few days, I'm getting all these Amazon boxes delivered to my house. And so,
well,
hopefully
I'm talking to you on a built computer myself. So if you need any help with that, feel free to contact me at any time.
Totally geek moment. AMD or Intel?
AMD.
Okay, good. All right, that's what I bought. All right, sorry. Well,
I had to think about it. I was like, it's been like 3 years, but yeah, AMD.
Dude, I've been like, I'm trying to sound techie. Like I spent literally a couple weeks looking up stuff on YouTube and all these different experts on what to buy.
That's all you need. That's all you need is YouTube.
And so I was on YouTube and I bought all this stuff on Amazon, and like I said, it's all been coming in. Now I got to go to probably like Central Computer next week, have them build it out for me.
Well, feel free to bother us anytime about that, okay?
And so, like, I might be hitting you guys up for advice on how to actually do the Twitch thing and doing stuff more from home. I mean, it's awesome what you guys are doing. Like I said, kudos and props to you guys. Respect for all that. So, no, but thank you for having me on. Like, I would love to come on again. Like, you can see, I have a ton of random stories to talk about. I have so much. I'm at that point now. I'm old enough where it's like I have plenty of stories to talk about now. So I have so much. Like I said, we got Metallica stories. I got all these various bands and comedians, trips to the Playboy Mansion. It's like I said, there's so much. Like I said, I'm humble bragging right now, but yeah, there's so much we can have some fun conversations with.
Check out this picture I found. Can you see that there, Huey?
Whoa, nice.
Yeah,
hair.
that's Slaughtered by the Water. Yeah.
Which one was that one? Is that the
one?
That's
the aircraft, the third one on the aircraft carrier.
Yeah, was that the one?
USS Hornet.
Is that the one with Dave Lombardo?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Was it that one? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you were. There's proof right here.
Oh wait. Oh shit.
Did you not recognize yourself?
No, because it's dark.
That's you, me, and Big Joe, and then that's you, me, and Big Joe, and then Lurby from the band Witch Haven is there too.
Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. Yeah. Oh my god, that's a blooper.
You think it was showing a random picture?
I was like, who's this guy with the glass? Oh my god, that's such a blooper moment right
Baby
there.
Huey does not recognize himself.
Oh my god. On that note.
All right. Get out of here, Baby Huey, man. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure. One of the best interviews we've had so far. So I really appreciate it, man.
Anytime, man. Like you said, I can be in this luxury studio. Or hopefully I'll be at home. I can do more stuff at home too. So
yeah, get that home studio cracking, man.
I know it's awesome, man. So no, thank you guys. And thank you everyone for listening. Follow me, social media, subscribe.
That's right.
Subscribe to In The Kliq on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, or on the major platforms. So, and at In The Kliq on social media, and Baby Huey 83 on Instagram and Twitter, and Baby Huey Official on Facebook, wherever. Just Google. At this point, Google Baby Huey 107 Center Bone. You can find all my handles there as well.
Honestly, I think you're more popular than the character Baby Huey at this point, because if you Google Baby Huey, there's more stuff that comes up of you than the actual
the old cartoon.
Yeah.
These old news, man. Old news.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Everybody check out Baby Huey In The Kliq podcast. He's Baby Huey 83 on Instagram. As he said, you can find him anywhere. Thanks a lot, man. We'll see you soon, okay?
Thank you, guys. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, man.
What a guy.
Dude, what a nice guy.
What a guy. Jesus.
That was good. Sorry about the bad connection. I think I finally got it figured out.
That's okay. Yeah, you look great now.
You know what? Pretty much, to be honest, half the time I just hear.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, and then when you guys stopped talking, and I realized you asked me something, I'm like,
yeah, there was an awkward silence there for a second. But anyway, yeah, what a guy, Baby Huey. Everybody check out what he's got going on. Listen to 107.7 The Bone. We've got some comments here. Let's check them out. Let's see. Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, Marak?
Oh, it's Marak. What's up, dude?
Yeah, we got.
He's doing his Twitch stream too.
Is that right?
Yeah, him gaming.
That's right. He added me on Twitch. Everybody check out Marak, his Twitch. Let's see. We got a comment from the great Dan Souza. KFJC rocks. Always playing the weird stuff. And pre-COVID, they have an awesome program, having live bands play in their record vault. See, that's the kind of shit college radio does. I love that. Do you ever listen to college radio, Joe?
You know what? There was, and you guys probably covered the name. There, being in the Bay Area, so like where I was further away from you, so I couldn't get San Jose.
Yeah.
But there was a radio station at night that played metal, and I bet you guys covered it, but I just didn't know where it was coming from. But I knew it was a college station, and
I think that's what drew me to college radio. I was just scanning the dial,
Yeah.
and then you hear some random like metal, like Doom or something. Like, whoa, what was that?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
you're like, oh, this is college radio. They play metal, real metal.
I want to say DVC, which is the local community college near me, or used to be near me. That's in Concord. I think they had a nighttime, and that's what I would definitely get.
DVC. One of their professors is a rock and roller.
Oh, really?
Did you know that? Yeah,
No.
one of their professors is in the Lord Weird Slough-Feg.
What?
Yeah,
what
man.
A great band.
Yeah, the Lord Weird Slough-Feg. Everybody check out Slough-Feg. It's awesome.
Great Bay Area band.
Absolutely.
I've seen them a handful of times over. What venue do they always play out in San Francisco?
Bottom of the Hill.
No, I've seen them at another one.
Oh,
You
no?
had to go up a bunch of stairs. I got to open for them once out there.
Oh, you lucky dog.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
Wow.
It was I can't remember. It was probably like 2009.
Polar Knight says, I love that beard. Dude, you're so lucky, Big Joe. And then he goes on to say, tried to get a beard, but my girlfriend told me if I get a beard, she grows a 70s bush. And after Googling and seeing what sadly can't be unseen, baby face it is for me. Fair enough. If that's what you're into, you don't like the 70s thing, that's all good. Let's see here. JP. Oh, let's see. Oh, no. Dan. Oh, got Nick Gomez saying what's up to Huey. We'll call him Danny. Danny. I try to call him
Big
Huey.
Dan.
Yeah, but his name is Danny. As he sort of peeled back the veil for us and said, "My name is Danny" on the show, so I do feel okay about saying that. JP isn't retired. Second album, Stray Rebel Bullet. That's true. I'm in another band called Stray Rebel Bullet, and we have an album coming out. Thank you for. That's my fiance. Thank you, Laura, for making me plug my own stuff. I don't love to do that, but I do sometimes.
Hey, it's a great band, though. I mean, there's no shame in it.
Oh, here we go. Dan's still tuned in. It says, Joe, was Elbow Room you were thinking of with Slough?
That's right. They do play. It was the Elbow Room, and they play that venue. I've seen them like 3 times there and got to open up for them once over there. And it was pretty awesome.
It's a real small venue, isn't it? I've never been there.
Yeah, it's an upstairs. No, it's pretty decent size from what I remember of it.
Okay.
It was pretty packed when I was there. I mean, not huge, but I mean, it wasn't like a small. I guess it's a smaller one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, maybe 100 people.
I figured they called it the Elbow Room because it's ironic, right? Like it's small and you don't have a lot of elbow room.
There's elbow room.
Right.
So clever.
But anyway, yeah, fucking what a show. I had a great time.
Dan Souza.
Wait, oh, look at that. 3 Towers. Oh, let's talk about Bandcamp Friday while we're still on the air, folks. It's Bandcamp Friday. Okay. Okay. Do you know what that means? It means if you go onto Bandcamp and purchase some merch or some music from one of your favorite bands, they receive 100% of the revenue. Bandcamp doesn't take any of it. They do that one Friday per month, and today happens to be that Friday. So everybody check out Bandcamp. Go support your favorite bands. Go support 3 Towers because Joe's got their shirt on, and I'm a big fan. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I just got I just got that exact same 3 Towers shirt, and they sent a cassette with it, a 3 Towers cassette. So I was really fucking happy about that. I don't have a cassette player, but it looks really nice on my little shelf over there. But yeah. So Bandcamp Friday. Joe, is Violation Wound on Bandcamp? They're not, are they?
You know what? I don't think we are, but we have talked about putting our stuff on there.
My band isn't either. We've been talking about this for months. Like we need to get a Bandcamp going, and we have not done it. So
we have a SoundCloud though.
Ooh, yeah, I have a SoundCloud.
SoundCloud was originally, that was originally how we uploaded our music to social media. Was we uploaded it to SoundCloud, and then we were able to post from SoundCloud.
Yeah, we uploaded the whole Entitled to Enlightenment CD to SoundCloud. I remember that back in 2013 when it came out. And yeah, SoundCloud's still a thing. Are people still hopping on SoundCloud? I don't.
You know what? I have a friend that's using it for just to keep it somewhere. He'll be writing music. He's learning how to record and program drums and to track everything himself. And so yeah, I get notifications all the time that he's creating music. So, but I don't know, just the format of how it is. You know, I don't know, but I'll say there's a couple bands on there that aren't around anymore. That I definitely go to SoundCloud to listen to exclusively. One's
like the
called
only way you can
Chud
hear it.
Missile. Yep,
Wait,
this band
Chud
called
Missile?
Chud Missile. Yeah, the really cool rockin' stoner band. And I don't even know where they're from. But that's the only place I can find their music. And dude, I want to cover some of their songs. Like I've even found the singer, bass player on social media, and I bugged the fuck out of him saying I miss your band, and he does not reply to me at all. He definitely probably blocked me already.
He cool guy you?
Yeah, he was. I'm sure that he's off doing art and different things. So I think maybe he got burnt out of music and got tired of people, asking
Sounds-
about music. Just like when
Sounds
somebody
to me
asked me
like he
about
cool
pizza.
guy you.
Yeah, maybe.
I think you got cool guide.
Maybe that's like when you want to pizza talk me. It's like, dude, I don't really want to talk pizza.
You're like, I'm not religious to pizza. Okay.
I still love
Yeah.
pizza, and I still love the pizza industry. So I mean, who knows? Who knows? I'll have my own place soon.
You are. It is without it is without question. You are a legend in the pizza world. In the pizza thrash world. Yes, that's right. You are a legend in the pizza thrash world. You've brought the thrash and the pizza, which is something that a lot of pizza thrashers can't say. So
no, they
Joe.
can't. They were this. They put it in their mouths, but I fed it into them.
What do they do?
I don't know
Can you
what
say it
anybody
slower?
does. No, I'm not going to say it again.
Say it again, real slow. All right. That's not that kind of show. We don't do that. Let's stop. So yeah, that's about all we got today. Thanks everybody for watching the morning after. It was a great show. Thanks to Baby Huey for joining us. You can once again check out the In The Kliq podcast and hear him on 107.7 The Bone. Please, if you're watching us on Twitch, go ahead and hit that follow button. Helps us out a lot. And if you have any questions or comments or concerns, or you're just angry, you can send an email to us at morningaftertv@gmail.com. Joe, you got anything else?
Yeah. Yesterday, Sacred Skull came out with a demo EP that I kind of mentioned earlier, which is the singer and guitar player Fog of War, Mosh Branham, and also my man Nick Mamir, great bass player. Nick is both those guys worked with me in the pizza industry, so and they're fantastic musicians. You need to go check that out. It's on YouTube and soon to be on everything else. I think Bandcamp soon. So support the hell out of those guys.
I'm a fan for life of anything that Josh and Nick from Fog of War do. Those guys are incredible musicians, great people. I'm a fan for life. Yeah. Cool.
No, I'm very inspired by that. That after hearing that had me picking up my bass and just running through scales and running through everything. I was just so pumped to hear it, and it's like, man, when I grow up, I want to be like those guys.
Someday.
So one day. But last but not least, I'd like to give a shout out to my son Chance. Today he's 14 years old.
Hey, all right. 14. Happy birthday, Chance. 14. Big Joe has a 14-year-old son, everyone.
Well, that's
Look
right.
at that. Man,
he's
how
a
proud
nice
of
young
you?
man too. I'm pretty damn proud. I'd be more proud a little bit more if he learned how to keep his mouth shut a little bit more. But you get what you take what you can get.
Yeah. How is he a crazy teenager? Is he one of these teenagers?
No, he's not. He's actually pretty chill, but he's very much he's got a huge imagination, and which reminds me a lot of me and his mom as well too. And
it sounds like his dad.
Yeah. It's too bad he's not a musician. I mean, he's definitely got it in his blood. It seems like both my kids aren't into music, but they're definitely very creative. And one day are going to be putting out some amazing content that everyone's going to love. They're into YouTubing. They think it's lame that I'm doing this. They're like, yeah, I'm not following you on Twitch. You're weird, Dad. You and your death metal. And, you know.
So I think you're doing fathering right then if your kids are fully embarrassed by you and
Right.
they don't want to support you.
No, exactly. I think
they got to hit a
nailed it.
certain age till they really appreciate parents and support what they do. You know, it's very rare when a kid their whole life is totally supportive of their parents and loves them. You know what I mean? Like, it's very rare. You know, there's a little conflict because you're dad and you got to be the bad guy sometimes. You got to say, no, don't do that. Don't do this.
You damn bastards.
Anyway, you damn bastards. Anyway, happy birthday to Chance. Hey, who's on drums for Sacred Scroll? Do we know?
You know what? Actually,
drum machine?
It's a drum machine. It's not
Nameless
my place
Ghoul?
to say. I know Josh programmed the drums, and they're very good. It's not
Never
my
mind.
place.
We'll say
what?
it's a person. It's a character. It's
Josh Branham, not Mosh Branham. I don't know. Maybe we can get Joshy on here and talking about it. I'd love to have him on. I know he works in the morning on Fridays.
Yeah,
You know.
that is the issue with having a Friday morning show. Some people just straight up tell me, I'm at work, man. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Can you go to the bathroom for 30 minutes?
Yeah, man, we had Huey on a lot longer than I thought, dude. Like,
I was worried. I was like, man, I feel like he has to go back to work or something. But no, he was down. He was down.
That's awesome.
So, all right, let's end this shit. This is our longest show so far. Thanks everybody
Indeed.
for watching. I think I said all my shit already, so that's about it. And Joe, you've been great, man.
Oh, you're such a beautiful, beautiful human being. I appreciate you.
No, you are. You are.
Tell me that I'm a strong, skinny young man.
You are. Did you see that picture of you from 2012?
Oh God, I was so thin. Baby Huey was so fat compared to me.
You were a little thinner.
I was a lot thinner.
Yeah. Well, we'll get you back there.
Yeah, you know what? A couple sessions in the Warrior Room, and I'll be back at it.
There we go. Check out the Warrior Room. Yeah, man. We gonna do that hot chip challenge next week or what?
I think we're gonna need to. I'm preparing for it.
I'm actually afraid because I was thinking I was like, oh, we should do that on the morning after. Everyone's doing it, but fuck it, no one's seen us do it. And I'm reading reviews of how people handled it, and they're like, oh, terrible stomach pains for like 2 hours. I'm like, oh no, that's what I'm afraid of.
Only 2 hours.
I don't care about the heat and the burning. I just don't want to be in pain in my stomach. I have a sensitive stomach.
They maybe probably didn't chew it all the way, and it just dropped in their stomach and then burnt their stomach instead of their mouth.
Oh, so you think chewing is the answer?
Yeah, get all that pepper worked up in your broken down with your saliva and all that fun stuff. Maybe staying hydrated too might help work that through. Okay. All right, stand by. Maybe we might have a hot chip challenge next week. Let's see. Well, apparently it can cause ulcers. Our resident nutritionist with folklore. No, it can cause ulcers. Yeah, I don't want an ulcer. Well, we'll think. Well, yeah, I guess we have some pondering to do then, Big Joe. Maybe we could get Jeremy back on here, Germ Warfare, and get him to do it for us. I never thought about that. We can get someone to do it on our show that isn't us. Oh. Marak. Hey, what's up, guys? All hail Zombie Holocaust. Thank you, man. Hey, you want to do a hot chip challenge? If Marak versus Germ Warfare. Yeah. If I'd love to see someone do the hot chip challenge. He says hell yeah. Dude, he says hell yeah. I gotta say, man, Marak, I don't recommend it. It looks insanely painful, and we don't want to be liable. we don't want to be liable if your stomach written up for next week. There we go. All right. Well, I'll get busy on that contract, and we'll see you guys all next week. Okay? How's that sound? All right. For Big Joe, I'm JP. This is The Morning After. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye now.